Hello there everyone, my name is Ray, and today we're here to play some more Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. This is part number 13, so let's go. This is actually kind of ironic because as the time of me recording this, or at the time of me recording this, Monster Hunter MHGU, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, was just announced for the Nintendo Switch, coming out sometime in August. I believe it was August 26th, August 28th, somewhere around that time, late August is the point. So this game is not even more relevant as a starting point. Even if you guys like this kind of game more so than like the Monster Hunter World kind of thing, it doesn't really matter now, and it matters actually even less than it did the last time I said that, which wasn't too long ago. So for now, the last episode, we went ahead and finished off the low rank quests as far as the urgency is concerned. We drove off the Cedius, Ceadeus, whatever, and now we have access to high rank quests. The actual quest for him is the decisive battle here. You slay or repel him. The way this quest works, I'll just explain it really quickly, is you go through the quest, you fight him, and you have 30 minutes to do so. As you see on the right, it's supposed to be the usual 50. Now, you break his beard, he'll go to the third area. In the third area, you fight him until he dies. If you don't kill him, but you've done enough damage to scare him away, at the end of that 30 minutes, he will leave. You will still get some rewards for having done that quest, and then the next time you go into this quest, his damage remains. So you broke his beard in the first quest, his beard will be broken, you can't break it again. His horn will be broken off already. If you broke it in the first quest, you cannot break it again, so you will not get any more carves off that horn. And then you will fight him. I guess he came back, but you will fight him until you did enough damage to kill him, then he will die. If somehow you still haven't done enough damage to kill him by the end of that 30-minute timeline, he will leave again, and it just repeats until you finish it off. But the purple Ludroth, that is our quarry, our prey, our victim for the start of this video. Now normally this quest would take me 15-20 minutes to do. Yeah, but since I have high rank weapons now, it's going to, not take as long. It'll probably take about 10 minutes, maybe less. But this is the Misty Peaks, or these are the Misty Peaks. Want to know about high rank quests? Eh? Well, lucky you. No one's better at explaining this stuff than me. Anyway, for your first high rank quest, we're sending you to an uncharted area. It's a place we call the Misty Peaks. It has rivers, mountains, and between those mountains, valleys. Or it has new monsters too. It's a hunter's haven. You're sure to run into new species, but don't worry. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. Or not. But hey, Overcoming Adversity is all in a day's work for hunting, right? So get out there and do your thing. As you'll see here, we only have a map now. A good portion of the time, you won't even be doing this. You won't even be starting at base camp. Garguas, those are new creatures. We will have to deal with them at a quest here relatively soon. Really annoying quest, actually. I do not like... It's an egg delivery quest. It's another egg delivery quest. But the way to do it with them is, first of all, leave Chacha Kiamba behind. Second of all, when you hit them, you have to sneak up on them, hit them with something, and then they will drop an egg. That's it. But they don't always drop the egg. There he is. Sometimes they drop the golden egg, and the golden egg will not help you at all. You need to get them to drop the normal egg. You cannot predict how they're going to do it. You cannot control how they do it. You just have to freak them out by hitting them, and then hope they crap out the egg that you want them to crap out. Purple Ludroth. Sup, boy? I am actually really excited for Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. First of all, it's not that far away. At the time of recording this video, May 11th, it'll only be just about 3 months away from now. So it's not that far from now, first of all, not that long a wait. And I mean, hell, we waited for World for over a year, and that game kind of disappointed me. And again, I don't even understand completely why. I just don't like that game as much. Tail cut off because you suck at life. Now he's breathing out that poison crap because he's pissed off. So yeah, no, his main thing is he's poisonous. He is not Ludroth in the sense of the other one. He will that claw attack he just did normally would poison you, but I have negate poison, so it doesn't. Now see, this quest, I actually probably should have used the low rank Rogi armor, just to kind of give the sense of urgency. Because with low rank weapons, you're not doing as much damage to him as possible. Like I said, 15-20 minute quest my first time usually. And with the low rank armor, he's a loot drop, but he's still a high rank monster. He can still kill you in 2 or 3 hits. So I mean, he hits really hard compared to anything that you fought up to this point. Again, because he's a full rank above you now. But I have equipment that puts me on par with the son of a gun, so he's not really too much of a threat. But anyway, how's everybody doing? And again, at the end of the day, he's still a loot drop. So I mean, he doesn't have any attacks. The regular loot drop does not. Except for I guess he has a slight variation on one of his attacks. He does one thing a little bit differently. But that's it. Hope everyone's doing alright. I can't say for sure whether Monster Hunter Generations, Monster Hunter 3, or Monster Hunter GU rather, is going to be a canon game. I doubt it because, and by canon I mean like tied into the main series. I doubt it just because the previous game, Monster Hunter Generations, and Monster Hunter Cross, as it was called in Japan, and then Monster Hunter Double Cross is what they got, and we're getting G Ultimate, which is our version of that. We get the secondary games. It's been a little bit since the last time we got the first version of the game, which is what Generations was. But Poison. But I'm not sure. I don't think this game will be canon to the series. I don't think it'll be tied into the main series, just because the last games were not, or rather Generations Cross and Double Cross, which again G Ultimate is the English version of that game. Those were not tied into the main story, so I doubt it. Even though 4 Ultimate was, and some of the characters from 4 Ultimate, well, okay, 4 Ultimate, 3 Ultimate, 2 and 1. Obviously were all main series games tied into the main story, and Generations Cross, Double Cross has characters from all of those games in it, and you actually go back to pretty much all of the hunting grounds that you had in those games, but it still was kind of like a side story. They said it wasn't tied into the main series somehow. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, hell, they're the ones who decide, but I mean, when you sit down and think about it, or when I sit down and think about it rather, you've got 4 what the fudge? My shield was clearly up. Are you serious? Cha-Cha, come here and do something. Kiyamba? Okay, since you useless bastards don't want to do anything, I'll do it myself. I knew that was going to happen too. As soon as he touched you, I said, yeah, I bet it gets done because he just hit me twice. But, I don't know how the hell that kind of thing is supposed to stun somebody. But it is what it is. Regardless, when you have the game that has a good amount of characters from all of the previous games, and all of the previous games were considered canon, main story games, whatever. When you have all of the monsters that were in previous games plus new ones, and those monsters were considered, you know, real canon monsters, whatever. When you consider that the hunting areas, the hunting grounds and whatnot, all that crap was considered canon, and all of that is in this game, but it is not considered canon, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And again, I get it, they're the ones that decide, but I think it doesn't have anything to do with what's in the game, what's not in the game, to be honest with you guys. I think that it's just because it was made by another development team. It's still Capcom, but it was made by a completely different team. I do not believe, anyway, please correct me if I'm incorrect, but I do not believe that anyone who was involved in the main series of the games was involved in making Cross, Double Cross, Generations, and now Generations Ultimate. So I think that's probably why they don't consider it canon to the series. But again, that doesn't really matter. This dude shouldn't have too much steam left, to be honest with you. We haven't been here all that long. But he shouldn't have too much life left. Probably another 3 or 4 minutes, if that. Seriously, dude, do something besides that stupid little rolly thing. It wasn't helping you anyway. Now, to be fair, that attack probably would have hit me if Kiyamba hadn't knocked him over. Because I don't think I would have been... Okay. Because I don't think I would have been able to... There he goes. See, that stuff just actually genuinely annoys me, to be honest with you, when the monster just spams the same attack over and over and over. Hypocritical, I guess, because, I mean, with a weapon like this, that's all I'm doing is using the same combos over and over and over again, regardless. But still, it's just the way I feel about it. It's just annoying. Because it's different, in my opinion, because they have so many different things they can do. Like, he can just do that little body slam he did. He's got bite attacks, claw attacks, he's got spit attacks, he's got roll attacks, he's got tail swipes. All these things that he can do, where basically all I can do is spam the same combo over and over and over. And that, too, that's a slide attack. Now, that one I don't believe the regular Ludroth has that. But all these things he can do, all the things that these things can do. Yet, when they decide to just do the same thing over and over and over and over, especially if it's not working, you would think that they should have the intellect to realize it's not doing anything. These are supposed to be predators, hunters, killers, whatever. They're survivalists, if nothing else. And I realize it's a game and it's programmed and all of that, but still. Purple Ludroth here. Don't know what the hell that was. Purple Ludroth here will be, well, it was a shield dash, but my point is, I don't know why I did it. Purple Ludroth will be going back to the weeds. Don't know why you decide to be so disrespectful. Are you leaving again? No, you're not. Get wrecked. And so that quest being cleared now gives us access to high rank quests. Pretty much all of them. Well, like, gives us access to the rank itself, obviously. This was a high rank quest. You could have done this quest and not hunted him, so to speak. Like, kind of just walk around and gather stuff. Obviously, you'd have to kill him eventually. But I mean, initially, if you were to walk around this place, gather items and whatnot, this doesn't have a low rank version. The Misty Peaks doesn't have a low rank version, so you can go around, gather things. You would get high rank materials like those Ultraroth you guys can probably see in the background back there. If I decided to kill them and carve them, I would get their high rank materials potentially. But in this game, I will say that is one of the biggest selling points for Monster Hunter World, in my opinion. It significantly cuts down on the amount of time you have to spend grinding against certain enemies. Just from simply the fact that you get high rank materials from high rank creatures. I've always thought that should be a thing. If I cannot obtain high rank quests, high rank parts or G rank parts from low rank quests, and I cannot obtain G rank quest parts from high rank quests, I should not be getting high rank parts, or in some extreme cases low rank parts, from high rank or G rank quests. When I am going out of my way, putting in the effort to kill this much more powerful, sometimes much faster, you know, stronger, more deadly attacks, these monsters that you guys are making me fight against, I'm going through the effort to do that. I should be rewarded for that. I shouldn't break the horns on this monster and get its low rank horns if I'm fighting the high rank version. I shouldn't get the high rank version of the claws if I'm breaking the claws on a G rank monster. And if you're gonna cut off, like, you cut off the tail, right? I don't like the fact that you can carve, like, scales and hides and crap. You guys saw chief example last episode when I fought that Ceadeus, whatever, and I got a hide and a scale. Like, what was the point? I just spent this entire quest leading up to that moment to break your horns just to get stuff I could get from any other spot. If I'm putting in the effort, that is my biggest problem with Monster Hunter, probably. If I am putting in the effort, okay, to do these things specifically for the attempt to get one specific item, I should get that item. Now, I'm not talking about plates, I'm not talking about gems, things that are, like, really hard to get. You got 2-5% chances. The grinding will always be a part of this shit. It'll always be, and you're just gonna have to accept that or play another game. That's just the way it fucking is. But I mean, at the same time, I need, like, say, for one piece of armor, I need 3 tails from this creature. So I cut off its tail 2-3 quests in a row and get scales or hides off the tail. Really? Or when you break the face, the only way to get this item is to break this guy's face, like the Great Baggy, for instance. To get his King's Crest, you have to break his face. Which means not only do you have to break his face, but you have to finish the damn quest. So once you finish the quest, you realize you get a Screamer. Or a claw or something like that. Muggle would say, at least say, what? Those words too. Yawning, sure. Hot shot hunter like you. Okay, so basically we can go out at night now. And the stronger monsters come out at night. So Purple Ludroth will be out there. You can switch back and forth with the X button. This is still a good game. I don't care what anybody says. The only reason I say that is because earlier in the episode, at the very start, I said this is an even more relevant game now. As far as people starting off with this game is even less likely, because now they have another Monster Hunter game coming out, and it's going to be this style, the way this looks. It'll look better, more HD and all that, more HD. Yeah, it'll be HD on the Switch and all that. But and those of you who enjoyed the mechanics of Monster Hunter, the original Monster Hunter, those are all in that game, but they have different styles in it's actually kind of crazy all the different things they can do. They have different styles. They have those styles allow you to do a bunch of different things. You can evade monster attacks easily. You can heal your opponents. Heal your allies. It's just, there's a bunch of different things you can do. They have skills that your hunters can use that you can't use in other games. So I need some hides and some Shroom Germ Pluses. So this is for, is that bread? Let's get some Shroom Germ Pluses then. And I also need some Bug Maker Pros because, good God, I ain't got nothing. Alright. So what do you want now, Junior? I swear to God, you should just say all this at once. Ah, there you are, Hunter. Good time, and I got some news for you. I was out there patrolling the Purple Ludroth. Yes, we know this. Thank you. Finally done with the conversation. Wow, so you completed your first high-rank quest. I know you had it in you. Suppose I ought to call you the Hero Moga, the Super Stalker, the Hunter's Hunter. Now I'm actually getting kind of excited thinking about what's going to be up in the... Wow. I'm a dingus. Like, I am more excited for Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate than I ever was for World. Because Monster Hunter Generations is, in my opinion, is a great game. Where this is a key quest. That's the reason why we're doing this Tenjagia, because this introduces a new monster to us. It's not new to me by any stretch, but the game wants you to know what it do. They actually kind of shove this dude down your throat because he shows up in this quest. He has a cutscene. I didn't eat because I don't need to. It's literally just Jagia. This guy he'll be here, but I can avoid him because he's kind of slow and very predictable. But he gets a cutscene in this area, and then in this quest, and then in another key quest you have to do with a familiar yet different monster. It's another version, kind of like the Purple Ludroth. It's another version of a monster we've already fought before. He summons him like crazy. He calls for help basically, and that's like the only monster he'll ever call on the first quest you do. Potentially just every time you do that quest, and he summons him all the time. But there are so many mechanics in Monster Hunter Generations that I liked. And that's why I was disappointed when I found out that it wasn't a canon series game, because I was like, well, none of this crap's going to be in World. And, you know, I still liked Monster Hunter World, and I still do like the game as a whole. I know I shit on it a lot last episode and this episode, talking about how it's, you know, not one of my favorite Monster Hunter games. It's not. But saying that a Monster Hunter game isn't one of my favorite Monster Hunter games is like me saying that an RPG isn't one of my favorite RPGs. Like, I like all of them. I've never played a bad Monster Hunter game. There are just certain things about it. There he is. There's just certain things about that game that I thoroughly enjoy, and other things about the game that I just don't like as much. For one thing, it was hella short. I beat it in like 2 weeks. But that's what you get with a game that's only got 2 ranks. Because Monster Hunter usually has G rank, and G rank is easily the bulk. Easily the bulk of Monster Hunter games. You can get through low rank and high rank, and then it'll take you as long, if not longer, to get through G rank as it took you to get through the first 2 ranks combined. And then the end game, oh my god, the super powerful monsters that'll take you out in 1 shot, maybe 2. The farming all the weapons, all the armor. I really do like Monster Hunter World as a game, but compared to the other games, it's lacking to me. There's an entire rank that was gone. Now they gave us all of these systems, in Generations, the previous game, and that screwed us up. And given the fact that I'm a Sword and Shield user mainly, there are these things in Monster Hunter Generation called oils that make the Sword and Shield so much better than it ever had been. That's not in World. I mean, there's just so many things that Generations... I think I got spoiled on Generations, to be honest with you. Because they gave... And there were so many cool new monsters that were introduced in there. And now maybe this is just biased by me, but I don't really give a damn about most of the new monsters in World. I've said that before. Odogaron and Radoban. I like Legiana, but, you know, it's... To me, it's a good Apex monster. It's a good monster, but it's a bad ice monster to solo represent ice, that type of shit. A good chunk of the monsters that I thoroughly enjoy fighting in that game are just older monsters that were redone. Both Diablos, all 4 form of the Rathalos. I really do like Baz. I'm a huge fan of Basil Geese. I do like Xeno'jiiva. I do like Valhazak. So there are monsters that show up in that game for the first time that I really do like. But I don't know. So I mean, it's just, I'm not saying that that's a bad game, because it's not. I'll play it at any time if I'm offered a hunt group with my buddies. But it's gotten to the point where I don't play that game by myself anymore. As opposed to like this game, I will play by myself. Oh, come on, Jag. Yeah. This is Devil Joe, by the way. I'm actually kind of surprised how little I've said about him. But no, he's a Root Wyvern, and he'll ruin your day on purpose, because that's what he does. He loves to eat. You can actually carve this Jaggy, by the way. Free stuff. I've already killed a couple of great Jaggies in the high rank, so I don't need stuff from this guy. I have no intention of making his armor, and nor will I really be... He's throwing rocks at me. Nor will I really be using his weapons, because they're just outclassed. But I don't know. There is... Now, I promise you, they're gonna make a G rank for Monster Hunter World. They're gonna make it as an add-on or a completely separate game. I really couldn't care less, but they're going to, and I will be getting that game. 100% guarantee I will be getting the G rank version of Monster Hunter World. Abso-freaking-lutely. And that game, at that point, I can see that becoming my favorite Monster Hunter game at that point, or at least like top 2 or 3. And some people out there who've never played Monster Hunter are probably wondering what the hell difference G rank makes. It, from just not even difficulty standpoint, from a pure okay, I thought more Jaggies would be over here. From a pure content state, G rank offers so much compared to low and high rank. I understand. Basically, again, I look at them as modes. Low rank is easy mode. And then you have high rank being medium, average, whatever. And then G rank is hard mode. That's the way I look at it, and it's not exactly the same. But you can technically, if you're looking at it as game modes, you can turn up the modes or turn them down at any time, as he throws rocks at us again. Because you can do low rank. Once you hit high rank, you can still do low rank quests. In fact, you'll need to get materials to make your weapons better or your armor better, as far as, oh, well, I need to go and I want to make this weapon now, because I say there was a weapon tree that you didn't like, and basically that just means this sword here on my back, say, I didn't like this for whatever reason. I chose not to make this weapon because its stats weren't as good as another weapon that I wanted to use instead. Some of the weapons will cap out or not be able to be upgraded past a certain rank, so if this weapon keeps going, and it has a G rank form, the hard mode form, if you will, that means it has increased stats on it, and it'll do more damage, obviously. But say the weapon that I did want stops at high rank. It doesn't have a G rank form. I can fight the monster that made its low rank parts and its high rank parts possible, but I will not ever be able to upgrade that to a G rank weapon because it just simply doesn't exist. But this one does. Now, this will be the superior weapon, so then I would have to go back and fight more Rathalos, low-rank Rathalos, get their materials, make this weapon, upgrade it to high rank, fighting some high-rank Rathalos, then finally upgrade it to G rank, and get the G rank materials to make this weapon as strong as it can possibly be. That's basically the gist of it. As far as like weapons and armor and all that other crap goes, some things don't have a G rank form. and others do. So you will have to go back to low rank, high rank at different points in time and soup those up. Now at the same time, it's always a choice. But another reason why I like G rank is because it offers that choice to a much greater extent. Like I said, so much content compared to the low and high rank forms. Example. If I want to get to, not fishing, if I want to get to high rank, I'll tell you this, it took me less than 2 hours to get from low rank to high rank in this game. Because I grabbed a friend, we went online, and they do key quests. I will actually, matter of fact, I will show that to you, what we did. I am rank 5. I am rank 5 now. I'm 1 rank away from G rank. But let me show you what I did. Just to make things a little bit more easier on myself when I'm recording these videos, because again, like I said, this isn't a proper playthrough. I'm not showing everything about this game. You guys can tell I've been skipping text in this episode and all that, leaving it on the screen long enough for you guys to read it. But I've been skipping it. So I can go high or low rank. I did these harvest tours because I wanted to gather the materials, which again, you can get right out from the gate. And if you just play through the Moga Village, you won't have access to this stuff for hours and hours. But playing with fire, Korapeko, this is a key quest. Leading the charge, Bear Out, that's a key quest. Hunting a Rathian, key quest. Then accident investigation, key quest. All of that took less than 45 minutes because I had a friend come with me, and she was using G rank materials, the end game strongest weapons you can possibly get material. These are low rank monsters, guys. I was there fighting with her because I don't like to just sit back and watch. Screw all that. I'm going to earn what I get, at least as much as I possibly can. And I realize it's kind of a bullcrap statement considering what I just said. But at the same time, I at least was there helping. But at the same time, I may as well have not been, because she was doing so much more damage than I was. And she specializes in dual blades anyway. So I mean, she was putting on the absolute hurt. But regardless, these creatures all died in less than 5 minutes apiece. Then I got my urgent quest, which is this one, Fisherman's Fiend. So I didn't even have to do this quest once I reached rank 2. Upon completing that quest, I was rank 2. Again, this is also far less than an hour. Then you have Diablos, Horned Wyvern, Desert Gorman, Nibblesnarf, Giganox, Bury Out the Dead on my own because I wanted to make an ice weapon, and Agnactor. So Agnactor, Giganox, Nibblesnarf, Diablos. Complete those quests, then that unlocks this quest. This is your urgent quest, Double Trouble. As soon as you kill that Rathalos and Rathian, then you're high rank. It took me less than 2 hours to become high rank in this game because of the way that it's structured. Now, then we went through and did these. I did that on my own again 2-3 times so I could upgrade the weapon that I've got on me actually. This is a key quest, Plesioth. You guys haven't seen him yet, but you will soon. Purple Rain, I did that just to unlock the double Ludraw quest because again, I needed their parts, their high rank parts to upgrade my weapon. So this is a key quest here too, Mud Brothers. So far, Mud Brothers and Splash Damage are the only 2 key quests we had to do. Bye Bye Bloom is a Crimson Korapeko. Again, you guys will see him soon enough. That's also a key quest. And Supply Constraints. This is the double Great Rogi high rank quest I had to do to get the armor set I'm currently wearing, but that's also a key quest. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then that unlocked this quest, Brachydios Mio. Hunter Brachydios, Brachydios, maybe, however the hell it's supposed to say. When I read because I know Mio is mine, but when I read Brachydios Mio, it doesn't sound as good as Brachydios Mio, because there's a Spanish phrase, I guess it's a phrase, it's only 2 words, called Dios Mio, or Ay Dios Mio, which is, I guess, 3 words, but it literally means, oh my god. So, after completing this quest, I became rank 4. And I did that quest a couple of times to achieve my slime weapon that I currently have, which is easily the strongest weapon I have. I have to fight him a couple more times, actually, so I can make my slime lance, so I can kill stuff underwater with the greatest of ease. This quest right here is obviously a 4-star quest. That's a key quest. Lost Expedition, I did that just for the hell of it. The Volcano's Fury, also a key quest. And then Unwanted Visitor. This only has 3 key quests. So Zinogre, Zinogre, whatever. Tumble on the Tundra, Jade Baroth, and Baleful Giganox. And then Urigan here. So those 3 quests unlocked this one. And I've really got it, Chris. Again, these are a bunch of subspecies, spoilers, whatever. But you guys will be seeing them eventually anyway. Not too long from now, all things considered. A couple of weeks, and you guys will have seen all of these creatures. Completing that made me 5 stars. Now, I haven't done any of these. I think this is a key quest. This is a key quest. This is a key quest. And then I believe this is a key quest. But regardless, I'll have to do 4, maybe 5 quests, and then I will have unlocked the first G rank quest. It is a G rank quest, but you have to beat that quest to gain access to the full realm of G rank. Now again, the end game weapons are brutal to the low rank creatures. Some of those boss monsters you can legitimately kill in 2 shots with G rank weapons. It's absolutely ridiculous. High rank weapons go down faster, but not as fast as low rank. Obviously, they've got more life. Some of the monsters just default to being more tough, etc. And by more tough, I mean more alive. They evade faster. Their skin's a little bit tougher. They take a little less damage in some cases. That type of shit. So they didn't go as fast, but getting from rank 3 through rank 4 and into rank 5 took me maybe 4 hours. Because again, my dual sword wielding buddy, she was just hammering in on these idiots. She was just going home on them. Now see, that all ends once you get to G rank though. Once you unlock the quest, I won't say what it is because you guys can't see it yet, but once you get past that quest and you actually enter G rank, you defeat this new boss monster that you haven't seen yet, and your G rank, that doesn't happen anymore. All of that is gone because your endgame stuff is being put up against endgame monsters. So even if you have one buddy helping you with endgame crap, it's not going to matter too much because these are endgame monsters. Your buddy is now just as likely to die as you are because these monsters hit hella hard. Your friend is now just as likely to get their shit kicked in because these monsters are just as hard as the weapons and materials that she used or he used or they use for the weapons and armor that they currently have. It will no longer be a walk in the park. It will no longer be just, okay, I'll just kind of dick around, stab it, maybe sit down a trap or something and wait for 5 minutes and then it'll be dead. And do not forget, you with your high rank crap are probably going to die in 1 or 2 shots against most of these G rank creatures. Some of them hit ridiculously hard. So even then, once I get to G rank, I'll probably be doing most of that shit on my own, to be honest with you, because I like the challenge. And that's just another reason why I don't like World as much as other Monster Hunter games, because again, the lack of G rank. G rank is so much harder than the rest of the game up to that point, and end game, or rather what I call end game, is easily the most difficult part of the game, and it should be. Soloing those quests is such a feeling of accomplishment for a video gamer who likes to play challenging situations. There are many monsters at the end game, and by end game I mean they take the G rank creatures and make them even tougher because you've done a certain ranking system that I won't name in case you guys don't want to be spoiled or whatever, even though I've been spoiling half this episode, and they end up boosting their strength. So now these guys are killing you even with your end game defenses, end game stats, in 1 shot, sometimes 2, with their most powerful attacks. They're not just gonna touch you, and this isn't Dante Must Die from Devil May Cry, but it can be a massive pain in the ass. And just you versus that one monster, it's a good feeling of accomplishment when you kill him, assuming you can. Some of these monsters will give you a run for your money every single time you fight them. But anyway, now that I've gone on a tangent and ranted for a long ass time and wasted the last 10 minutes of this video, I'm going to end this video. So, thank you all for watching as always. My name is Ray. Go ahead, follow me on Twitter if that kind of thing interests you. The link will be in the description if I remember to put it down there. I always love how I point down to the description so if you guys can see me. I don't use Facecam. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did not enjoy this video, also let me know. But until next time, goodbye, everybody.